Doing? Well, it's me again. Now, yes, I'm in my t-shirt. Yes, of course. I was just getting ready for bed, and I wanted to check some of my for any replies. And boy, did I get a few to my videos about you must follow the Torah. The problem here is, and I want to tell you guys some personal experiences. Okay, for the last I don't know 3 years, I have been teaching people, preaching that look, we must follow the Torah. Now, a lot of people they get sidelined by traditions. Okay, with the death and resurrection of Yeshua, okay, we don't have to worry about the penalties of the Torah anymore. This is what I keep trying to tell people. Okay, especially the Christians that still they're stiff necked and they dig in their feet. Okay, we don't do traditions. You see, Messianic Judaism is the enemy of religious tradition. We're the enemy of religion itself. Religion and religious traditions are the invention of man. Why? To keep its followers in oppression. Think about it for a second. No. What we do is we take the tradition out of the Torah, the Pharisaical traditions. That's why in Matthew 5, verse 20, it says, unless your righteousness exceeds that of the Pharisees and the Torah scholars. You see, your righteousness has to exceed that. How do you do that? By taking the traditions out. What's left is the pure product. And that's what I teach the Christians to follow. I never tell them, read the Talmud. I tell them, read the Torah. First in Deuteronomy, which I like to call the Torah for beginners, because it goes into detail, but not so much detail that it overwhelms you. Then I tell them, go to Exodus all the way to Deuteronomy. Okay? Kind of leave out the Levitical law, because those are for the Kohen, and you're not the Kohen yet. Okay? But everything else, you follow. Okay? This is what, when James wrote that letter, and you know what? Here's the thing, and I got to tell you, this is really getting me. Keep on quoting Paul. Keep on quoting Paul. Keep on quoting Paul. Like he is somehow above Yeshua. Now, if that's the case, and that's what you believe, that a mere man, even he doesn't say that he's above Yeshua. He says quite literally that he isn't. So, I always ask this question. People don't like it when I ask it, but oh well, I have to anyway. Do you consider Paul's words above Yeshua's words? Then why are you following Paul's words over Yeshua's? One of the main things is, oh, well, when he died, yeah, he followed the Torah, but when he died, he did away with that. No. Where in the Bible does it actually say that? Excuse me. Where in the New Testament does it actually say that when he died, the Torah was no more? Even Paul says it in Romans. Do you think, excuse me, do you think that we're telling you to disobey the law, to ignore it? No, we're not. What he was saying is that you are no longer under the penalties of the law. Okay? That through the death and resurrection of Yeshua, through his shedding his blood, we are no longer under the requirements of the Torah. Okay? We are still with him. Since I became a rabbi, I've counseled many people, many Christians who came to me and wondered why their lives were in the upheaval that they were. And I found out why. Because they don't have a foundation in the Torah. So what I did was, I'm like, okay, I'll tell you what. Let's do this for a month. Give me a month on this one. Start following the Torah. Start doing what the Torah tells you to do. Take away all of the traditions. And that's why I don't have them read the Talmud, okay? Because you get Pharisaical traditions in there. That's a good commentary on it, but it's not really to be followed. Read the Torah, as I told them. And I told them where to go. I said, first start with Deuteronomy. I like to call that like I said, the Torah for beginners. And I tell them, do that, okay? Do you know when they're actually following the Torah, and I have seen it and they have seen it too, their lives took a transformation to the better. When they started following the Torah, they found that their lives started getting better. Not only did I see it, but they saw it too. After 1 month, we would get back together and I said, so how you doing? And of course, I helped them along the way. I said, how about that? And they're like, why weren't we told this? And I said, because your pastors weren't told this. It's been forgotten. Okay? It's been forgotten purposely. Okay? And that's why no one has been told this. That's why nobody knows except us. You see, Messianic Jews, we hate tradition. We do follow the Sabbath. We do follow the new moon because we are commanded to do so. We follow the feasts because we are commanded to do so. I'm like, when you do what the Torah tells you to do, even if you're not Jewish, you do it as a Christian, you're going to find your life literally 180 degrees in the opposite direction. Does that mean that we're never going to sin and we're never going to violate the Torah? No, it does not. On the contrary, we're going to sin. That's why Yeshua came into the world to die and be buried and then resurrected. His coming here was not an accident. He was foretold in the prophets of old. But he came so that we're no longer under the penalty of the Torah. And I know someone like the mosaic. It's the Torah. Okay, let's just call it what it is. It's the Torah. It's not the mosaic. It's the Torah. Okay, I don't preach the traditions. I preach the pure Torah. That is what we preach. That is what we teach. That is what I teach Christians who really want to get turned around, want their lives to turn around. I teach that. This is why a lot of Christians hate me. And I do say hate because they loathe my very presence. They take me as a threat when in reality they shouldn't. But okay, whatever. I'm used to it. I teach them. I teach these people that you don't need religious tradition to get to heaven. What you need to do is you need to follow the commandments of God. And when these Christians actually started to follow the Torah, their lives turned around, both their personal and professional lives turned around 180 degrees. And they saw that, hey man, this is great. I had them come to me. This guy, he gave me 1 month. I said, okay, what do you think? He goes, you wouldn't believe it. When I started to actually follow the Torah that you gave me, that you taught me to follow, I started seeing almost immediate transformation. He said, I saw that in my personal life. People were treating me better. In my professional life, my boss was giving me things that normally he wouldn't. I said, there you go. Families. And I know this one family, they live up in Dalhart, Texas, where I'm from, the Dumas Dalhart area. And this family, okay, kids constantly in a state of rebellion, the daughter going out and, carousing around. And they came to me one time. I was in Dumas. He said, Rabbi, what should I do? I said, how about this? Are you following the Torah that I'm teaching you to follow? He goes, well, I said, no. Well, why don't you follow the Torah as I'm giving it to you? I said, give it 1 month. Just give me 1 month. If it doesn't work in 1 month, hey, then what have you got to lose? What do you got to lose on this one? Do you know that he did it again? And he started following the Torah. His family started following the Torah. Not only did they, in their personal life, not only did they start finding themselves to be healthier, but they found out that the family started turning around. The family life did. The kids stopped being rebellious. The kids the son stopped running around with the type of friends he was running around with. The daughter stopped carousing, started spending more time at home, doing better in school. Then in his professional life, his boss was laying off people. Do you know what? He was the only one that stayed. Why? Because he started to actually obey the commandments of Yahweh. Now, you say what you will, but these are undeniable. That when you start following the Torah, as is given to us in Deuteronomy and, well, all through Exodus, from Exodus 20 all the way to Deuteronomy, when you start following the true Torah, the real Torah, not only are you going to see a transformation in your life, such as never been done before, like you've never seen it before, okay, you're going to see how better everything is. And you're not doing it to be saved. You're doing it because you are saved. Okay? But if you want to still be sick, I've actually had one guy when I said, why don't we just follow the Torah diet? Stop eating the foods that we are told not to eat. Stop eating them. Okay? When you do that, I said, let's just follow the Torah diet. Now, I follow the Torah diet. But I do drink coffee. I like coffee. Kind of into that. Okay? But follow the Torah diet. Do you know what? He had cancer, and we started following the Torah diet. Then, of course, I said, now, if you want to do it, it's a little bit more extreme, but you can do it. It's good. Do what is known as the Daniel fast. If you'll recall, Daniel and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, his friends, when they were taken into captivity in Babylon, they were put in the king's service. And what happened when they saw the food that was being served? What did Daniel do? He goes up to the steward and says, hey, we can't eat this food. And what did the steward say? Well, if you don't eat it, the king's going to see that you're going to be more sickly than the rest of the kids, the young men, and he's going to have my head. And what did Daniel say? If I found favor in your sight, do this for your servants. Give us this diet that we're going to give you for 1 month. If after 1 month, test us and see. If we have not improved, if there is no improvement there, we will eat what you set out for us. Okay? This is called the Torah. This is called the Daniel diet. It's a good diet. I've been on it many times and lost a lot of weight and actually became better. This is where you cut out all meat. Okay? You eat nothing but vegetables. And you drink water. Okay? You steam the vegetables or boil them, however. And what we did was we had this guy go on it. We cut out meat entirely. Okay? Dairy, everything. If it came from an animal, we cut it out. This is the Daniel diet. Okay? Do you know what? He had cancer. Now we went through prayer, we anointed him, and we also did that. Through the grace and mercy of Yahweh and Yeshua HaMashiach, he was healed. I am convinced it's because He chose to follow the Torah. All right. Now I'm going to be back tomorrow. I got to go to bed. I'm tired. I've been up all day, doing ministerial things, you know, trying to find funding for my synagogue that I'm going to be building here, that kind of thing. By the way, if you want to donate, you can go to GoFundMe.com and go for the Yeshua Ben David Ministries. Okay. Also got a link in my face page. Okay. But Yeshua Ben David Ministries. If you choose, you want to donate. Okay, to help us with our expenses and our, getting the synagogue. All right. This is Rabbi Goodson. Have a very blessed morning, night, whatever.